Yeah.
So show me.
Go, yeah.
Here's George.
Hi, George.
Good evening. You see how important you are? We stop everything just to be able to hear you.
We're at the wedding of someone.
Enjoy.
A lot of the people are here who are in the Daf here. So let me tell them, send message, mobile. We are at the chuppah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we're on Mem Tes Amud Aleph. Rabbi Akiva, the way Rabbi Akiva learned, Loishna Kohen Gadol L'Chudei, V'Loishna Kohen Gadol L'Nazir. Yesterday we learned that we know a Nazir cannot expose himself to Tumas Mace. Kohen Gadol also can't. But it really makes no difference. Let's say a Kohen Gadol became a Nazir. There's no difference between the two cases. So that is learned Nafka Mila Echad. Because it says Lachiv, Laviv, L'Imo, Lo Yitama, Lachiv, L'Achois. So the case that a Kohen Gadol and a Nazir together, it makes no difference, is learned out Mila Achi. La'aviv, L'Imo, Lamal. Well, that teaches me the basic rule that a Nazir cannot be Metame. What do I need La'aviv, L'Imo for? Shrichi. The Gemara says it's needed because of Aviv. If the Torah only wrote about it, that you're allowed to go to this, that he cannot go to the funeral of his father, but he didn't write mother. Havamina, you know what? You know why you can't go to the funeral of your father? Mishun de chazaka ba'omahu. Listen to this, gentlemen. By a father, you're not really sure who the father is. The fact that we think our father is our father, it's a chazaka only. Your mother, you see. Hang on. Susie, I'm teaching right now, okay? I'm outside in the chuppah area. Bye. Like Michael said, you see it come out of the mother, so we know who the mother is, but you're not really sure who the father is. Yes, Roy v'Eloi Sachar Abal. Chazal say the father is going to be the husband most of the time, but it's not all the time. So it's not chazaka. It's only based on chazaka. So maybe that's why the Torah had to give you a special pasuk to say that you cannot go, that a kohen or a nazir cannot go to the kohen gadol can't go to the father's funeral because maybe it's not his father. About imo, the adina the ledite imo, the but to go to the mother's funeral, we know for sure that she's the mother. Maybe you would think even a kohen gadol can go to the mother's funeral. Comes the chumash not to say la avivu la imo lo yitama, neither case. Because of Rachmana imo, if the Torah was only written about the mother and not written about the father. Havimina imo lo metame lo delav ozul zari basrei. You know what? The yichus doesn't follow the mother. Yichus, is he a Kohen? Is he a Levi? Is he Yisrael? That follows the father. Aval aviv kivin to Amar Mar. Lemishpachosam levesavoisam emel tamale. Maybe I would think since there's such a strong koyach that we follow the yichus of our father, that maybe you should go to his funeral. For the Torah to write in both cases, lo aviv uli imo lo yitama kamashma. Now, there's a general pasuk that was written, which says ve'akol nafshois meis lo yavo. You can't go to any funeral. Lamali. L'chora, if I can't go to my parents' funeral, I certainly know that I can't go to a stranger's funeral. L'chora, why do I need that? I'll call la'fuke rechoikim. When the pasuk says I'll call nafshois meis lo yavo, so we divided up. The alcohol goes on strangers. Rechoikim, I'll call la'fuke rechoikim. Meis la'fuke kroivim. That also you can't go to other relatives, sister, brother, chas v'sholom. Nafshois. Now, nafshois is plural, right? Nefesh, nafshois. Lafuke, revius dam, sheyotzu mishnei mesim shematama. Look at this. We know that even a revius dam of a mace is metame b'oil. Remember, tumas nevela is only metame if you touch it or carry it. Tumas mace has a special stringency. Besides conveying tumah, when you touch it or carry it, what do you mean carry it? Like, for example, let's say it's in a box and you move it. You're not touching it, but carrying it masa, that's tumas masa. But tumas mace has a special stringency that's tumah ba'oil. that if you walk into a room, now it's not just a corpse itself. Revi'as dam. Even if you have a revi'as dam of a mace and it's in a room, it's metamid b'oil. But not just that. The word nafsha, it's plural, comes to tell you if you have half a revi'as from one mace and half a revi'as from another mace, and it's mitzaref, it's also metamid b'oil. That we learn from nafshos. Shenemra akol nafshes mace lo yachal. Mission. Al elu tumas a nazir megala. We know a nazir, it's normally 30 days. If he's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his day 17, 15, and he's metamil mace, it breaks his nazirus. Start from scratch. He can't start from scratch until he goes through tahara process. He needs 7 days counting. On the 3rd day, they sprinkled him with paraduma. On the 7th day, they sprinkled him with paraduma. And then he went to the mikveh. He's a tvul yom. He can eat truma, but he can't eat kotchim. That night, he can already eat kotchim. Now, if you're a metzora, a yoletis, a zav, or a zava, besides those 7 days, now there's no paraduma, but on the 8th day, you have to bring korbanos. Tumas mace doesn't require korbanos. So the nazir who becomes tamei, it wipes away his count. He has to count 7 days, paraduma. Then he can start again, and he starts from day 1 and goes to 30. By a nazir who becomes tamei, he has to bring korbanos, chatas, asham, oilam. At the end of his tahara process on day 8, we said day 7, day 8, he has to bring the korbanos. Then he shaves his head. Then he has to start again, 30 days, and then he brings korbanos petahara, chatas, oila, and shlomim at the end of Nazir's petahara. So al elu tumas anazir megalech al ames, that's of course. Val kazayis min ames. So let's say there's flesh, busser of the mace, kazayis. It also breaks the Nazirus, he has to take air. The Al-Kazayas Netzel. Netzel is fluid that emanates from a dead body. So if there's Kazayas of that mucus, like from the nose, other things, sputum, that's Netzel. The Al-Malay Tovered Rekev. Let's say, and this is applicable when somebody wants to move their relative after 30, 40 years they've been buried. My mother was buried in Eretz Israel, and my father was buried 55 years ago here in Mount Carmel. I've talked to Yossi. We can't do it.
Thank God. After 40 years.
So it's not. So this. I've already spoken to people in Israel. They asked me, was he buried in an aron? So in an aron, there's no problem with fine. They claim now an aron also degenerates. Wood degenerates. Sure. But they said that the wood that they use in America to bury has some kind of metal infused to give it more quiet so it doesn't infuse. Now, when you look at a wooden coffin, it doesn't look like wood. Anyways, so what is this? What does this Mishnah says? Mole tarvid rekev. It means a spoonful worth of corpse dust. The corpse turns into dust. So a spoonful, that's called mole reved rekev. That's already enough. You don't need kazayas, even less. Ala shedre v'akugoyles. So a skull or a spinal column, like in the doctor's office, you have a vertebra with the ribs, right? So you don't. So like we'll see. Small, but that's like almost like a whole mace. V'al aver min mace. Now, if you have a whole limb of a mace, it's metame. V'al aver min achai sheyesh alav basukuru. Aver, a limb from a live person that has enough flesh on it is metame. You know that if somebody is amputated, if you amputate a leg, it has to be buried.
Yeah.
So they keep it in a freezer until the person dies. I don't think they bury it wider. I think they wait until the person dies.
I told you that story.
No. What was the story?
I told you this story. So I had a relative of the passed away. So he had that amputated leg.
And where was the leg?
The leg was on ice, right?
In a
so
freezer.
I was in Eretz Israel. They brought him to Eretz Israel to bury him. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story again because it's a sad story, but it's very funny. So now the Chevra Kedisha shows there was a haram.
Where's the leg?
No. So now the Chevra Kedisha shows up and they late, right? So they got the walkie-talkie going in the Chevra Kedisha. Hey, for Atem, yesh od guf po ba stay too far. So they start screaming, yesh od guf ba stay too far. No. So they put him in a hurry. They put him in the grave, and then the guy, when he puts him in the grave, just goes back in the truck, jumps into the caver, puts the leg next to the caver, then they close it up. I mean, this is a mice
Okay.
that you can't even make.
So you see, so Aver and Amaze has to be, Aver and Achai also has to be there. The Alchatzi Kavat Somis, bones, half a kav is breaks the Naziris. The Alchatzi Loig Dam, half of a loig of dam. The Almagon, Valmason, Val Oyalan. It's if you touch it, if you carry any of these things, or if you walk into a room with them. The Al Etza Oira. Now, a bone the size of a barley thing is only al magol v'maso. That conveys tuma if you touch it or carry it, not oya. Alelu anozir megalech. So on the things that the Mishnah mentioned, the nazir has to break his naziris. Umaze b'shlishi v'shvi. Like we said, he gets paraduma sprinkled on him on the 3rd and 7th day. The soiser is appointment. Like I said, if you counted 15 days already, wipes away the 15 days. Maybe so you don't start the new count until he's 7 days, and he brings his korbanos on day 8. Then he starts his new naziris. Reb Meir died. Rabbi Yehuda Talmidov. So Meir was very stark. And he had Talmidim. So Rabbi Yehuda told the Talmidim, all you cancel Talmidim Rabbi Meir Lekan. Basically, Rabbi Yehuda made a ban on Rabbi Meir's Talmidim. Midnei shekantranim. They're bamachloikas. Whatever I say, they're going to say Rabbi Meir didn't hold like that. The lolin motoira hein boim. Ela lekavchani ba'alochel sein boim. They're not coming to learn. They're coming to chopper with me. So I'm not letting it. Dochach sumchus v'nichnas. So sumchus, one of the great Talmidim Rabbi Meir, pushed himself into the yeshiva and went in. Armelahem kach shana Reb Meir. And Sumchus immediately said, this is what Reb Meir taught me. Al elu tumas lanozir megaleach, al ameis, val kazayis ben ameis, caused Rabbi Yehuda. Really got angry. Armelahem. Look, hachamati lachem al yikanz Talmidei Reb Meir lekan. Didn't I tell you I don't want the Talmidim coming in here and they should come running in? You guys are bal machlokes. Al kazayis ben ameis megaleach, al ameis lakol shegay. And what are you telling me al ameis? If you tell me I already have to be makalech al kazayis mace on the whole mace for certainly, so all you're doing is causing trouble. Okay, we'll pick up tomorrow. You should call everybody. George, tomorrow and tomorrow is Daf Yomi at 7:30 and the Tzorba at 8 o'clock.
Done. Thank you. Have a good night. Shikoach, everybody. Enjoy the wedding.